want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year. Shoot 'em my shot, boy, I'm long range. Me and the team on the same thing. Stayed down, never switched up. Only thing changed was the game. I'm in the zone now. Nothing can change what we on now. When I pull up, know it's going down. Foot on the gas, ain't no slowing down.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Clydesdale Media Roundtable. It's Tuesday afternoon, lunch hour. What's going on, man?
You know, it's Boys' Day. Best day of the week.
Yeah, we get to talk about fun stuff without Amy wanting to shut us off.
Right.
we got the kid crowd in the background there at the Odie house. So he's artistically hitting the mute button.
That's right. I'll be in and out.
Craig Passley says Jamie's t-shirt is really cool. Yeah. That's her fundraising shirt to get to the games. It's on her Instagram. Go to her story, DM her if you're interested. I think both are available in crops. There's a tank, there's a tee, and it's really cool. It looks like a games jersey made by none other than our very own ThiccBoi.
Does she have an A-frame?
No A-frames this year, man.
Oh, come on. Corey's not going to buy one now.
I think there are crops. Don't quote me on that. I am not involved in this. I just am a friend. And I know that she put it up there this week. So go check them out there. Her details are much better than mine. So with that, what have you been up to, man? Haven't seen you in a while.
Well, you know, living the dream of kids not being in school and dealing with those fun things as you're working from home on some days.
Yeah. Yeah. So are you the house that has all the kids over to entertain your kids, or do you try to ship your kids off?
A little bit of both. They all seem to just rotate throughout the day on people's houses. So they'll be here, and then they'll all go somewhere else. It's just catching that pocket right is the issue.
So when can we order the Charlie crop top? Charlie doesn't have a crop top yet. We're trying to get Clydesdale Media shirts that may have a crop top available. But man, it is so busy for everybody right now, trying to get everything through testing, making sure that you can see the logos on the shirts, all of that kind of stuff. But we do have an idea of it's going to look like a little bit of the tie-dye-ish bleached out kind of thing with the logo on it. And hopefully I'll have some at the games to sell as I'm there. So we're looking for. But working with Mark on that and ThiccBoi to make sure we have a good quality product out there for everybody.
And that's all he does is do quality products.
Yeah. Yeah. I love his stuff, man. And I love from like a business perspective that some of the stuff you can only get if you see him live.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about like 87 people wearing the same shirt at the gym.
And if you lose it or leave it at the gym and then somebody has it on, you know. Because if it's a Rogue shirt, you're like, yeah, I guess they could have bought that too.
Yeah. Yeah. Corey says, I'll make a plain white cutoff tee and write Odie on the back with a Sharpie.
Done. Let's do it.
Yeah. That was the Hopper shirt the first year at the semifinals.
Yeah.
You remember that? All the friends. I think they put his football number on the shirt and wrote his name on the back and on a plain white tee. Yeah, that's dedication.
Now he's big time.
You watching anything good on TV these days?
Presumed innocent.
Really? Is it that good?
Yes.
I just assumed it was like the Harrison Ford movie back in the day.
Doesn't matter. It's not it's fantastic.
Okay.
Problem is, it's like old school where it only comes out one time a week. And a lot of cliffhangers on the end.
Yeah, Apple and Mac still do that, where you have to wait every week. Now I'm watching The Bear, and FX put that out all at once.
Yep.
So I have one episode to go on The Bear.
I'm 50-50 on The Bear. There's some good ones. There's some bad ones.
How far are you?
I'm done.
Are you done?
Yeah.
I don't want to say it till I watch the last episode, but I think season 3 was a little bit of a letdown for me. Season 2 was really, really good.
Yeah.
And season 3 was very artistic and done with like some panache, but like I don't think the storyline moved very much in the first 9 episodes. I got one to go. I got to get a lot of shit done in one episode for it to move.
I won't say anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm almost afraid to watch it. It's one of those like, then when it's done, it's done. And even episode 2, like it advanced the storyline, and season 2 ended with like a lot of good things and one really bad thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now we're dwelling on that one bad thing for 9 episodes. And I'm just assuming another bad thing's going to happen. But
guess you're going to have to find out.
Have you checked out Receiver yet?
I've seen 5 episodes.
Wow, I haven't even tried it yet. I've heard it's great.
Good.
It's as good. Is it as good as Quarterback?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just all into the Giants off-season Hard Knocks.
That it is show that is the S show, if you will.
Yeah, the full-on shit show.
You're right.
That is the New York Giants.
Yeah, that's yeah. There's some stuff that I can't believe that they're like, yeah, you can put that out.
I'm a firm believer that this is the only time it'll ever happen. They're going to get this one season in, and no team will ever agree to do this again.
No. I mean, it's like, did you forget the camera was there, or we just?
But it is so captivating, and all I want to do is watch more. It's the train wreck I can't look away from.
Like, can they win a game? I don't know that they'll win a game.
I mean, they have a lot of confidence in Daniel Jones, and I don't know where that's coming from.
It's more of hope. When you pay a lot for something, you just hope it's good.
When they made the statement, I don't want my $40 million quarterback handing off to a $12 million running back.
Yeah.
So essentially, I just want my $40 million quarterback to get killed.
Yep. Yep.
It is, if you are not watching that, it is well worth, if you like football at all. And there's no way Brian Daboll runs a 7 flat 40.
No, he's probably closer to a 10.
Yeah. What did he say? I think it was Xavier Worthy. He said, if I started at the 20 and he started at the start, could I beat him? And they were all like, absolutely not.
That's very true. You've seen Xavier run.
Yeah. And he is the fastest man to ever run the 40 at the NFL Combine.
Yeah. And he just has Patrick throw it to him, so
yeah,
just throw it and go get it.
Him and Hollywood Brown, man, the Chiefs did not get weaker. But anyway, that's the TV world. Today in the mail, I got this.
Ooh.
So, Wad Zombie's been doing trading cards forever. And he started a company called Mint Trading Cards. And up until now, it's been you buy one card and it comes like in a nice case, or you can get it in a really nice case. But now he has started selling wax packs. The old-fashioned 1980s wax pack. How cool is that?
Mm-hmm.
So these came in the mail today. You get to open them and you don't know what's inside. So you open it up and the first thing I see, my girl Hattie Canyo, who did a show with us for like 12 weeks live from Bali. And that was awesome. So that is her rookie card. But there's like 5 cards in a pack. I got the rookie Enola Kai.
Okay.
So that's what that little one looks like.
Nice.
I got the OG Chase Ingram.
You gotta throw one in there, I guess.
Adrian Conway. The only man to beat Rich Froning.
Is he commentating? Or
he's standing at the booth. The headset on.
They should have had him competing, I guess. Be a better word.
And then he made a behind the scenes Sevon card. So in my other pack, I got a double of the Enola Kai. And then we've got the Sean Woodland RIP card.
That one's worth a lot.
We got the Bill Grunler. Kyra Milligan, rookie card, going to the games. And legend Jason Kalipa.
Ooh, look how deep he is in that squad.
I know, with the depth on that big man. He is definitely below the knee right there. So pretty cool. 5 cards a pack. You never know what you're going to get. You open it just like the old days. Super cool. So an awesome product from him.
Do we know where we can get these?
You can go to the Mint Trading Card Instagram, and in there's a link to the shop where you can buy them. So pretty cool.
Nice.
And I actually bought the legend cards of Becca Voigt, Scott Panchek, and Sam Dancer. So they're in that case right there.
Sam's a legend?
Yeah. I mean, I think what he did on the floor at times was legendary.
I just meant he's still kind of competing at the...
Well, so's Becca Voigt. Becca Voigt podiumed last year, I think, at the games, or came close as a Masters athlete.
Not individual.
No, but Sam competed Masters last year. He won. There is no Philip Kelly in the cards, as Andrew Sten was asking how many, and it is 5 cards per pack and a sticker. 5 cards and a sticker. But it has that like 1980s look to it. The old wax pack, Topps, Donruss, the old school card companies. So super fun there. We had this discussion. I don't know if you saw on Sunday night. Castro mentioned something about a Hall of Fame in CrossFit. And if there was a Hall of Fame, I put it out to Carolyn and Jamie. You had to start with 3 men and 3 women, and they all had to be retired. Who would you start the Hall of Fame with?
Retired, or...
So they could be a Masters athlete, but they're no longer in the elite individual. So it kills the women's side because all your multiple winners are still active.
Well, Annie's not.
She is not retired. She just had a baby this year.
Mm.
And she's only like, what, 31?
I mean, then I think you had to start with the original girls.
So you're
Annie.
saying Annie and Nicole Carroll,
Yeah.
and I can't ever remember her name. Something Y, something.
Yes.
So we had some Katie Hennigers in there. 2008 games champion, 2007 games champion. One of those two. And then what she's done kind of outside. I had Sam Briggs. I think Sam Briggs is a must. I had Becca Voigt.
Yeah.
And I had Kristen Clever. Because 2009, 2010, Clever was just a beast. And then Briggs, just legendary stuff on the floor and a champion. And Becca Voigt was the first double-digit CrossFit Games athlete.
Yeah, Briggs had to be in there for sure.
So some people we had listed other than that were Katie Henniger, Carrie Pierce, Kristen Holta. So
Did you put Julie Fouché in there?
So I thought about that after the fact, kind of like, should I have? And I think her career was too short. She's at like Terrell Davis.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think eventually she would get in, but not yet. Not in like the inaugural class.
She's in that like China Cho, Tovar section.
Better than those two. I mean, she never finished lower than fourth at the games.
Yeah.
I mean, she went 4 times. I think she was second, third, and fourth. So I think she gets in, especially ahead of like Tovar and Cho.
Is Katrin retired?
Yeah. No, she's not. She just got hurt this year. Aaron Frazier says Frazier, Froning, Kalipa. Corey says Rich, Kalipa, and Amundsen, the original fire breather. I say Matt, Rich, and who did I say? I think I still have it. No. Yeah, I do. James Fitzgerald, the first champ. And then created OPEX and is still active with OPEX to this day.
I'd say Rich, Frazier, and Spieler.
Okay, I don't hate that.
Got to get some from the little guys in here.
Yeah, Carolyn completely forgot Frazier, that he retired. So, but she had Miko Salo because of his influence on European athletes.
Mm.
So I don't hate that either. I don't hate the Spieler pick. I don't hate the Kalipa pick. Like I'm good with all those. I think Amundsen's a reach there, Corey Leonard. But because you're talking CrossFit Games, and yeah, he was a fire breather back in the CrossFit.com days, but
Would you put somebody like Bergender in there?
I mean, all Hall of Fames eventually start adding like contributors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Madden got in as a contributor, Steve Sable, things like that. Yeah, it's definitely CrossFit Games only, Corey. Because if we're talking CrossFit period, I mean, you'd have to go Greg and Dave, things like that to start it off. This was just the athletes of the games.
So where does Bridges and Bailey land?
I think they're a couple. I think they're a couple years away, man. Like they're not in the inaugural class for sure. What Bailey? Did Bailey ever podium? Bridges did once.
But does the podium mean everything? It becomes do you win championships?
Well, it's about a resume. It's about a full on what. So you think Danny Broflex adds enough to his repertoire to?
I think he did enough for the sport. I mean, does he get in? Let's say, does he get in before who's 11th element?
Graham.
Yeah.
I think that's a tight call. Longer career for sure.
Dan Marino.
I'm not saying they don't make the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? I'm just saying they're definitely not first ballot. I think Ben Smith, once he retires, is ahead of them. His longevity, his championship. You know, he's now coaching athletes at the games. Like he has a bigger resume to lay out there than Dan Bailey and Josh Bridges.
Does who's the guy that does the split clean?
Was that Fitzgerald?
No. He was at the Legends he was at the Rogue Legends game that was.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
Craig Passley asked, what's the story between OPEX? This place comes up a lot in discussions. It was just it's James Fitzgerald and his brother started like a training methodology based off of CrossFit, but they called it OPEX and kind of gave their own twists, a little more measurement to it. And I don't know all the details, but it's Canadian based and it's still very strong up in Calgary, Alberta, in northern Alberta, like the Calgary area in that northern Alberta. There's a lot of semifinal athletes that still train at James Fitzgerald's OPEX gym. Matt Brady trains out of there. Amy Hosking. I know I'm missing people. I hate when I try to list, but anyway, it was, and they actually had an OPEX gym in Arizona. They expanded into some different places. And Greg felt like they were trying to compete against CrossFit. So there was a little bit of a rivalry there. But OPEX never got to be near as big as CrossFit did at all. So, and there's your boy, Josh Everett's the split snatch guy.
That's what I was thinking about. Thanks, Aaron.
So, where I actually first found out about OPEX myself was researching for an interview. She was an American athlete. She was the fittest 1 year. She got married. Tennille Reed Berline.
Oh, yeah.
Training in an OPEX gym in Arizona. And that's how I kind of like learned about it for the first time. And then I've heard much more about it since. But she was like the first person to introduce me to it. Because we weren't around in 2009 and 8 and 7 when this was all kind of happening. Andrew Sten said, I think Fitzgerald also superheaded the Black Box Summit. So, but definitely that Hall of Fame thing, I think it'd be cool to do. And even like maybe a traveling exhibition at the games or semifinals. You know, I know Rich has a ton of his stuff just laying in a corner. Like, I'm sure he'd donate a few things that he, like a headband or one of those necklaces or a pair of shades.
So is it just a bunch of jerseys? Is it busts?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you know, they're broke right now, so we can't afford much. So it might be just one of Rich's kids doing a drawing with crayon.
Yeah. Signed.
Yeah. And that'll be the plaque. We'll just frame it and take it from place to place. For Matt, it'll be Samuel cook something. We'll put it under a glass thing and Matt's favorite meal.
That'll this whole thing will just spark the old who's better.
Yeah, I'm sure. But that's what Hall of Fames are about, right? People bragging about what they used to do. And
I mean, the answer's Rich, but yeah.
To Neil Berline, who smashed that O course in 17. Yeah. That was the first time I ever volunteered at the games, was working that O course. And it was so much fun to watch. It was freezing. It was snowing in August, but it was fun to watch. Bethany and I reminisced about the snow last week. I still love chatting with her, man. She will always be one of my favorite athletes ever. You're on mute.
Shadburn?
Yeah. Well, Flores now.
Flores, yes.
Yeah.
She'll always be Shadburn to me.
There's a couple announcements out this week. Dave's Week in Review. He said that we know all the outdoor events now.
Okay.
So it's swim run and the football field, Barrington Field. Those are the only two outdoor events that will be happening this year. Everything else will be inside.
Okay.
And he said that the swim run would happen at 7 a.m. unless they got there and tested and 7 a.m. was still too hot. And then they would go at 6 a.m. Are we putting too much on the Texas heat?
I think we might be. I mean, it's hot, but
it's hot, but kids play football on Friday nights in Texas in full pads.
So what it sounds like is you need to buy stadium passes. If you buy field passes, you're wasting money.
So they're not selling. So the field stuff is free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Farrington Field is free admission. It holds almost 20,000 people. But the stadium sold out. So you have to buy like third-party scalper tickets to get in there.
So you got to buy the free tickets?
No, you have to buy to get into Dickey's Arena. They're all sold out. So you have to buy scalper tickets. But for Farrington Field, it's free to the public. First come, first serve.
Uh-oh. We better not have another Cup of America situation.
Yeah. That was crazy. Coach Sir Moose says, but we don't know the event that takes place on Farrington Field. That is correct. We do not know. But Dave is mentioning the track a ton. More than the field.
It should just be a straight 100 sprint.
400 repeats.
No, just a 100 sprint.
Ugh. Elimination style?
Yep. Top 3 get in till you get to the finals. You never test speed, really. Short speed.
Corey's like, yes, it's hot, but it's a run swim, not a damn marathon.
He's also from Louisiana. He wears sweatshirts in the summer.
Coach Sir Moose says hurdles.
Ooh. Can you imagine?
Then you'll see who the athletes are.
And you'll see who's not an athlete.
Who just does fitness and who was an athlete. And the hurdles will change all of that.
They'd get people hurt. Just
Well, they're supposed to tip over with you. Like you shouldn't get hurt.
You shouldn't, but if you fall with it and you don't know how to fall, it's trouble.
If there's hurdles, my picks are Paige Semenza, Danny Spiegel, Danielle Brandon, those athletes.
Oh, Spiegel's not getting those things up there.
Dude, look at
High
her.
hurdles.
Look at her log event at Rogue. That girl's an athlete. Softball slide under the log. She hurdled up over that log like it was nothing.
This is different. 110 hurdles are different than.
As long as she doesn't have to run more than 100 meters, she's fine.
It's never going to happen.
Andrew Sten says maybe they do more of a steeplechase type hurdle with a little mini pond of water on the other side for everybody to cool off. It's about 80-ish at 7 a.m. right now. Not unbearable, uncomfortable, sure, but not out of the question.
Is this Texas or Louisiana?
It's probably Louisiana. Yeah. Well, Yellow Host is riding a C2 bike in a sauna.
It's preparing.
So I think people are like making too much of it. And every athlete in Texas is going, shit, I wish there was more. Ariel and Abby and all those people that train in it every single day. They're like, give me 8 events outside. Yeah. But anyway, we did get our media passes. So Kat and I will be there.
Nice. It's about time.
Got those Friday afternoon. Super stoked about that. It seems, I may be misreading it, but it looks a little bit different than last year. It actually looks like we have assigned spots in media row in the stadium.
Guess that can be a good and bad thing.
Depends on where you're assigned.
Depends on where you're assigned. Because it shows if they like you or not.
Right. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see where they put us. And then 2 working stations in the arena, both available to us to like drop laptops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
like the upstairs of the one last
year. But I also heard they cut the media credentials in half, trying to get non-endemic media into the arena. So hoping that like someone from ESPN or CNN or whatever would come in and want to cover. So I heard there could be another wave of approvals if they don't get a lot of interest in that realm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the last thing I wanted to bring up with you, Scott, I don't know what non-endemic media means. Well, I'm sorry, Corey. In Cajun, it means they ain't the ones that cover CrossFit on a daily basis. Is that better? Hopefully he understood that.
You didn't have enough twang in it.
I didn't have enough twang in it. And I said it too slow because the Cajuns, they go real fast like this. And
You had to go full water boy.
So the last thing I want to talk to you about is Dave on his week. Yes, that'll do fine. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about, Dave in his week in review talked about, or no, it was in his interview with Elisa Filiano. She asked, are you going to change the season next year on what it takes to get to the games? And he said he would like to change it, but he thinks the current system works and they're going to have to do it for one more year.
Okay.
So it looks like we're doing open, quarter, semis, games.
Okay.
He also said that he's heard all this point system talk and he hates that. He thinks that only benefits the top athletes.
Well, who should? I mean, if you're good, if you're in the top, what's the matter?
So Matt O'Keefe brought up the PGA Tour and how they have a point system and a tier system, and that you can earn points for major competitions that a lot of the top golfers can do, but you can also earn points on like a lower tier. And basically, like, someone would need to assign this event is this amount of points, this event is that amount of points, blah, blah, blah. But you could earn those points to get your opportunity to move up in the tiers to get your shot. But at least you're getting to play and compete in the process of getting there.
Well, the only issue I'd have with that is you have to, I mean, if I have more money than you, I can go to more events than you and get more points.
True. And if all the U.S. points are way higher than the African points or the South American points, how do athletes from those areas gain enough to get up to the next level? I think it would need a lot of like massaging and figuring out. But I think it's something to consider. Because that way, I don't know. I think we use an Olympic version, and we're not big enough to be Olympic.
But then what makes one event bigger than another?
Well, like it's the level of competition. You'd need a really good system, like in golf or tennis, there's a world ranking that actually means something. And if this competition has 15 of the top 20 athletes, it's going to get more points because of the strength of field. Andrew Sten, I came up with a similar system. The hard part is determining how to decide which events qualify. And again, I think all events can have points. It's just how many points can you earn at those places because of strength of field. Like if you go to Rogue and it's got 20 of the top 25 athletes, it's going to be worth a lot of points how you finish there because you're going to get up against the best of the best.
But then your issue with that is that's invitation.
Right. But there's But then there's Metcon Rush that's going to have a bunch of semifinal athletes, and it's going to have some decent points, just not the max points. You're going to have Crash Crucible. You're going to have a lot of other, and it promotes people going to some of these local events to make them way more interesting. Like I just went to Fresh Coast this weekend on the beach in Lake Michigan, and Dre Strom was there, Ben Davidson, Rich Froning, Dan Bailey, a bunch of the people from Eighth Day Gym who have qualified teams to the games. And it was a blast because they were there and the crowd was huge. And yeah, wouldn't it be fun to go to a local event and have to compete against an elite games athlete? I think there's two ways of looking at it. It would be fun to say, hey, I got to compete against Rich and Dan this weekend at Fresh Coast. But you're also knowing you're not going to win the championship as well.
But yet you won. You're on the top of your leaderboard in your gym all the time.
Yeah. But how many opportunities you get to go up against Rich Froning in a competition? You know what I mean? Like, I'd love that opportunity. Back in my 2016, Scott would love that opportunity. Just saying. But I know and Moose is saying down here that, Metcon Rush is local and Nick Matthews is there. Frey Mooseberger is there. All these people that miss the games are going there to get some competition time in. And in NorCal Classic, I know Carolyn Prevost going out to that. Colton Mertens is going out to that. You have these opportunities for these local, and I say local comps, they're still fairly big for their region, but the opportunity to go see these athletes up close is going to be, I think that's how the sport grows. Like Metcon Rush has been talked about more this year than any year I've known. And we've been following them for a couple of years, and they have Nick Matthew there. They have Scott Tetlow there. They have a bunch of people on the women's side as well. It's going to be a great competition, and they give away more prize money than semifinals have the last few years. So that's how the sport grows. By growing at grassroots like it was initially in these regional type events. I know, Andrew, I'd like to call them mid-majors. If you look at it from like a college football perspective, it's not the Big Five. It's like that mid-major next level down where it's great competition, high-end athletes, but not quite the big show yet.
Like Penn State and LSU.
Oh my gosh, dude. Really?
It's not quite the top tier yet. But you tried your best.
I mean, like Miami, University of Miami in Ohio. that little shitty school there in the western part of Ohio.
That would be Miami University.
Whatever. If they were bigger, I'd know their name.
Just because all your money's at OU doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I bought a building at OU. It's a mid-major too. Because I ain't rich and I didn't have enough to give it to get us up into the big leagues. But I digress. And anyway, I got a meeting in a couple minutes. So thank you for joining us for lunch today. It's been a great talk, great conversation, guys. The chat, you guys carry this show every week, and we love it and love your feedback. Corey, yeah, you got to get dialed in for Legends, man. This was a big goal. You better get there.
Yeah, stop messing around. It's your last year without me.
last year without Charlie. How are the hips, man? They doing good?
Smooth as butter.
Nice. Well, with that, guys, we're going to head out of here. Thank you for joining us. We'll catch everybody next week on the Clydesdale Media Roundtable. Goodbye, guys.
See you.